small, but I feel so tall in Toy Town. I take my car and I drive afar in Toy Town. There's Mr. Plod and a dog called Bumpy. Hello, Mr. Plod. Get down, Bumpy. I pass the Ark, the Noahs live there, and so does the elephant, and so does the bear. Noddy, they say it's market day in Toy Town. If you have the fare, I'll take you there through Toy Town. There's Biggers who lives by the old oak tree, and we have adventures, Biggers and me. Why don't you come and join in the fun? Just follow me, 'cause it's only begun. I'm Noddy. I'm Noddy.
Milk out, milk out, the milkman called. Goodness, Noddy said. Is it breakfast time already? We'll make an early start in Toy Town. 1 pint or 2? Noddy nodded. Say what you want, said the milkman. Nod once for 1 bottle and twice for 2 bottles. Take no notice of my nodding. My head just nods. And if it nods too often, you leave me too much milk. I only want 1 pint, please. That'll be 1 penny. 1 penny? Noddy looked very sad. Perhaps I'd better not have any milk today. I haven't got any money. That's all right, Noddy. Pay me later. And whistling cheerfully, the milkman went next door. I'd better get a job so I can pay you back, Noddy said. Why don't you try Angela Dole at 4 Chimneys House? There's spring cleaning this week. What a good idea, Noddy thought. He knocked on the door. It was answered by a doll in a big white apron. What do you want? She said. Are you the chimney sweep, or are you the laundryman? I'm Noddy, Noddy said. I heard you were spring cleaning, and I wondered if I could help. I'll be very good at spring cleaning. I've plenty of spring in me. It's nothing to do with it, silly. We're spring cleaning the house because it's springtime. Perhaps the mistress will let you help. We're always glad of an extra pair of hands. You can come in. The mistress was a beautiful doll with shining hair and big blue eyes. Noddy was so impressed, he bowed. The sweep hasn't come, she said. I suppose you don't know how to sweep chimneys? I'm sure I could sweep your chimneys, he said. I'd like to try. Noddy picked up a long black brush. He poked it up the chimney and waited for the soot to come down. I wonder if I'm through to the top, he thought. No soot. I'd better do it again. The little doll ran outside. Isn't this fun? She said. I wonder where Noddy's brush is. Oh, it's coming through a chimney. It's gone. Oh, there it is. In another chimney. Noddy is doing well. Oh, it's gone again. No, there it is. He's cleaning chimney number 3 now. Only 1 more to do. Oh, he's gone back to number 1 again. What is he doing? He should be doing number 4. There it is. He's cleaned it. Well done, Noddy. But Noddy was covered in soot from top to toe. You'd better have a wash, the mistress said. Then you can scrub the kitchen floor. Noddy set to. He scrubbed and scrubbed. Won't the beautiful doll be pleased, he thought. Perhaps she'll give me another job. Then I can pay the milkman and buy enough food to stock my larder. He turned to pick up the bucket. Oh, that's funny, he said. It was here a minute ago. Someone was laughing. Do you want your bucket back? Look out! He shouted, but he was too late. The little doll had spilt the bucket of dirty water all over Noddy's shoes. What's going on here? A stern voice said. It was the mistress doll. What do you think you're doing? The little doll girl looked at Noddy. It was an accident, but don't worry, I'll clean it up. It won't take very long, he said. That's a very good job you've done, said the mistress doll, and she paid him handsomely. Oh, thank you, said Noddy. If you want more work, try Monsieur Pulley at the garage. Now, if there was one thing Noddy loved, it was cars. Excuse me, Noddy said shyly, do you by any chance have a job for me? Monsieur Polly looked him up and down. Well, my man, he is away. You can have his duties until he returns. I love cars, Noddy thought as he looked round. If only I could have one of my own. A yellow one, just like that. He set to work happily. He washed all the cars and polished them until he could see his own reflection in them. Monsieur Polly was very pleased, and at the end of the day gave him 2 pennies. I feel quite rich, Noddy thought, but not rich enough to buy my own car. I do wish I could buy this one. Noddy worked at the garage for a whole week. On his last day, he worked extra hard. Oh, I do feel hot, he said. He sadly packed up his duster and polish. This is the last time, he sighed. Hi! Oh, I'm sorry. I'd completely forgotten you, Noddy. I will now give you your last 2 pence. I must lock up now. Goodbye. Bonne nuit. Never mind, Noddy thought. I'll soon get another job, and who knows, one day I might save enough to buy a car of my own. And he fell asleep. Noddy woke up with a start. Oh, dear, he said. I haven't had my supper. Who's that? It's me, without my hat. I must go and look for it. Noddy wasn't feeling very brave. It was dark and lonely. Ooh, he shivered. I don't like being alone in the dark. But he wasn't alone. A shaft of light came from the open garage door, and Noddy could hear noises coming from inside. Oh, Monsieur Polly must be working late. I do hope it's not my fault. Suddenly, a car shot out into the road. It was driven by a goblin, and another, and another. Why don't you look where you're going, Jaywalker? Noddy ran to the back of the garage. There, in an old shed, was a rickety red car. He jumped in, pulled the starter, and roared out after the departing goblins. All through Toy Town they went, and out into the open country. Faster and faster they drove, up and down the country lanes. Noddy felt as though he were flying. Noddy landed by a tree, clutching his steering wheel. A solitary tire rolled past. Before Noddy had time to recover, he heard a stern but familiar voice.
What on earth do you think you're doing?
It was Big Ears. I'm chasing, Noddy said, and told him all about it.
Are you hurt?
Big Ears asked anxiously. I don't think so, Noddy said, but I'm not sure.
Come into my toadstool house. You can stay with me for the night.
I do hope Monsieur Polly won't be cross about his little red car, Noddy said. It's quite smashed up.
I should think he'd be very grateful to you. Look, Noddy, he added, you go to sleep, and I'll see if I can find the cars.
So Noddy snuggled down on Big Ears' settee, and Big Ears went, all alone, to Goblin Village. The inhabitants of Toy Town were in a rage that morning, and as for poor Monsieur Polly, he was crying. All his cars had gone, even the little red one. But Mr. Plod was in charge of the situation.
We will have to examine the place of the crime,
He announced.
Aha,
He called.
aha.
He held up Noddy's blue hat.
A vital piece of evidence.
It was at that moment that Noddy and Big Ears arrived at the garage.
Does this piece of incriminating evidence belong to you?
Oh, I don't know about incriminate, but it's my hat. It was Noddy, the little nodding man, the little nodding man, the toy shouted. He did it. He stole the cars.
You just listen to me, Mr. Plod,
Big Ears said furiously.
You just listen to me. And you show respect to an officer of the law. It wasn't Noddy who stole the cars. It was the goblins. Noddy went to the garage to fetch his hat, and he tried to stop them.
Do you wish to make a written statement? We need a written statement, you know.
Look here, Plod. I want Noddy set free. In fact, if you don't set him free this minute, I shan't tell you where the cars are.
Perhaps we have been a little hasty, Monsieur Polly whispered to Mr. Plod. He wanted his cars back.
This, Brownie, says you chased the car thieves last night.
Noddy was too frightened to speak.
That's correct,
Big Ear said.
What's more, if we don't hurry to Goblin Village, you may never see the cars again.
It was a strange procession that arrived in Goblin Village.
I'll deal with this,
Big Ear said.
It's my beat,
Mr. Plod protested.
It's my village.
Big Ears strode forward.
Come out here, Gobbo,
He ordered.
I have a visitor for you.
You again? I might have known.
I'll have those cars back fast.
Gobbo pointed to the old oak tree.
Better get 'em, I suppose,
He grumbled. Quelle joie, Monsieur Polly murmured as the first car drove out. There were goblins everywhere.
I shall fine every single goblin in this village,
Mr. Plod announced.
Every goblin is to pay 1 penny. I shall expect you to deliver the money this afternoon. And if you don't, you'll find yourselves in clink.
Everyone got into their stolen cars and drove back to Toy Town. Monsieur Polly took Noddy to the garage. You had better keep your eyes shut, he said sternly. Why? Noddy asked, trying not to peep. We have a little surprise for you, and he led him into the market square. Can I open them now? Noddy asked. A little, Monsieur Polly said. Oh! Noddy's eyes nearly fell out of his head. A car for you. Hurrah for Noddy! All Toy Town was assembled in the square. For me? Really? For me? It was too good to be true. It was the most beautiful car Noddy had ever seen.
It's been a lovely day, now we have to go away, but we'll see you very soon in Toy Town. We'll be back another day, come and join us so we may see you very soon again in Toy Town. It's been a lovely day, now we have to go away, but we'll see you very soon in Toy Town. We'll be back another